Trust Most High, I need you. Alright, so I said I was going to make a short little response video. So to all of my subscribers, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, do subscribe, like, share. Alright, so let me get into this response that I said I was going to do. Okay. To a couple of my subscribers, there's some confusion going on. And I need to dispel that. I'm not the only person, that is digging on this information. I'm not the only one. It's a lot of people. Hiram Art, Forthly to the Drop Care, Mayo, Natural by Law. There's so many people that agree and can back up that Esau, okay? Esau is colored, okay? So-called Negro. Jacob and Esau were brothers, okay? You use your common sense here. Esau and Jacob are brothers. They had the same daddy, the same mama. Now, use common sense to tell you that obviously he's colored. If Jacob is colored, his brother would also be colored. Okay, so-called Negro. One was given the blessing and the other was not. Esau was not given the blessing. Okay? So Esau is colored. The Edomites are colored. The Amorites are colored. All of Japheth's line are colored. Ham's line are colored. Okay? The Moabites are colored. They are not Mongoloids. Okay? They are not the Moabites. They are the Moors that they talk about. The Moabites. Moab are the Moabites. They're colored. The Canaanites are colored. Okay? Who is Canaan? Think about it. Canaan is Ham's son. Okay? Colored, so-called Negro. I'm going to need y'all to seriously start looking at what's in front of you. Okay? The hybrids are not the Gentiles. Benjamin Franklin, in his observation of the increase of the peopling of humanity in 1751, point blank told you straight up, all of Europe, the whole of Europe is swarthy. All of Europe is swarthy. He even specifically called out Spain swarthy, Germany swarthy, Italy swarthy. Okay? France swarthy, Portugal swarthy. The whole of so-called Europe is swarthy. Dark-skinned people, so-called Negroes. I'm going to need you to sit here and listen to what I am telling you. He told you this as the Black German king, George II, set on the throne in England, as he was writing that down in 1751. He said the principal body of white people are the English and the Saxons. You can't give them the English because King James, who was crowned in 1603, who came out with the King James Bible in 1611. Same King James. I have a video with the thumbnail of the original image of King James. 432 The Drop has told you what King James looks like. Same image. Carameo has told you what color King James was. King James was a called Negro, King of England. As of 1603. Spain, King Ferdinand was colored. What did Benjamin Franklin tell you in 1651 about Spain? Spain, swarthy, as of 1751. So if there's still dark-skinned people, swarthy people in 1751, then that means they were still dark-skinned people in 1492. So the Spaniards were so-called Negroes, okay? The Spaniards were colored. The English, King James was colored. His people are colored. You can still go to England today, and most of the people there are so-called freaking Negroes. The Saxons, if you want to give that to Benjamin Franklin, sure. Give him the Saxons, whatever. But like he said, the principal body of white people is proportionally very small. And he only wished for their numbers to be increased. He told you that those who share his complexion are the minority and of the whole damn planet or plane. That they make up a very, very small part of the planet. Very small. He said the English, which tells you right there that all of the so-called white people, okay, that look like Benjamin Franklin, only spoke English because they were taught English before they were taught any other freaking language. That is why he said the English and the Saxons, because that's the first damn language they were taught. Now, I can completely break this down, and that's what I'm going to do, so I can dispel all of this confusion, this willful confusion, this willful ignorance. Because we're in the end of the road. It's end game, literally. So I'm going to need everybody to use your damn brain. The Spaniards, as of 1751, as he says, Spain, swarthy, dark-skinned people. That's what swarthy means, dark-skinned. Who's dark-skinned? Okay? Germany had a black, as he said, a black German king set on the throne in England as of 1751. Okay? What did he say about Italy as of 1751? Swarthy. Now, we all know what color Roman Emperor Charles V. What color was Charles V? He was colored. He was a so-called Negro. Okay? We already know this. Benjamin Franklin told you Italy is swarthy. That means dark-skinned. Charles V was a so-called Negro. Okay? So-called black man. Here's another thing. As of 1575, I have another video with a thumbnail of a Roman empress by the name of Julia Agrippina. Roman empress. Guess what? She's swarthy. A so-called Negro. A so-called black woman. Okay? He told you Italy is swarthy as of 1751. I have a thumbnail with Julia Agrippina. The portrait of her was made in 1575. So that was made in 1575, and they're still swarthy as of 1751. Okay, Charles V, colored. So Italy, which is Rome, the Catholic, okay, the Vatican, Roman Emperor, or Roman, let me break this down so there's no confusion anymore. Roman Emperor Charles V a so-called Negro. Okay? So Italy is swarthy, confirmed by Benjamin Franklin, a hybrid himself. Told you that Italy is swarthy. That Spain is swarthy. Okay? France is swarthy. So, who came here in 1492? Spain. King Ferdinand was a so-called Negro. Because what did he tell you about Spain? Swarthy. So, those were Gentiles. King Ferdinand is a Gentile. He is a Gentile king. Or was a Gentile king who was colored. King James was a Gentile king who was colored. Okay? The Moabites, the Moors, and even in the Moors of Mexam, they tell you where everything is. There was no transatlantic slave trade from Africa to the Americas. It was the other way around. Dane Calloway has already proven this by London's Virginia Company of London's statutes at large. Their own fucking records as of the 17th century told you that they were shuffling up American Indians, American Aborigines from the West and East Indies. The West Indies is so-called North America and the islands. That's the Bahamas. That's the Caribbean. That's Haiti. That's the Dominican Republic. South America was originally known as the East Indies. That includes its islands too. They were shuffling up people from the West and East Indies. So you must ask yourself, if they were shuffling up American Aborigines, American Indians, between the West and East Indies, how does that make them African again? It doesn't. Because they're American Indians from the West and East Indies. Noah Webster in 1828 told you the definition of an Indian. Inhabitants of the West and East Indies. He also told you in 1828 of what the definition of American was. American, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginal or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, now applied to the descendants of Europeans. But the original Europeans were swarthy, dark-skinned people. Okay? Benjamin Franklin also told you that they had only been here on this land as of 1751 just a little over 100 years. As of 1751. So that's about 5 or 10 years. So that would be around the 1640s that they got here. This has been a melanated war since the dawn of frickin' time. They named North and South America after the northern and southern kingdoms. Where is King David's citadel today? In South America. Peru. It's Jerusalem. Or Jerusalem. Whatever you want to frickin' call it. But it's in Peru. Which is South America. Which is Judah's land. Okay? If you don't believe me, go to 432 The Drop's channel. He breaks it down. Go to Caramel's channel. He breaks it down. Go to Natural by Law. He breaks it down. Hiram Art breaks it down. Dane Calloway breaks down what happened. Completely. The history that they lied about, made up a damn story. You do not come from Africa, okay? You are an American Aborigine from the West and East Indies. The promised lands. You are either Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob's descendants, or you are Benjamin, Judah, or Levi's descendants. Okay? And this other part of my video. Jesus is Jesus. In Spanish, they still say Jesus. Jesus. It means hell, Zeus. Christ. Really? Christ? You're going to come on my page with Christ? Are you out of your mind? The real Spaniards, the colored Spaniards, the brown skin Spaniards came over here with the Cristo, the Christ. Saint Christopher. Okay? King David called out to Hawa. That is his name. It is the most ancient name of the Creator. Even when indigenous babies are born, they sound like awa, 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 awa. They keep doing it. It is awa, awa, awa. The creature, the hybrid, sounds like eh. It sounds backwards and inverted. Hawa is the Creator's name. Everyone can tell you that. Cuba was originally called Hawa. Why the hell do you think they named Hawaii Hawaii? What? Guess what? The root of Hawaii is Hawa. It means breath. Breath of life. Molder. From the Paleo Hebrew. Okay? So, that Isus is idolatry, okay? There is, like I said in my other video, there is no Yeshua HaMashiach. There is no Yeshaya. There is no Yahweh Shai. When David called out to Hawa, Hawa came down with smoke coming out of his nostrils, fire coming out of his mouth. The earth shook. The mountains trembled. He didn't go through anybody. He went straight to his power. And Hawa told David, sit at my right hand, and as I make your enemies your footstool. King David sat at the right hand of the Creator. King David is the anointed king. Psalms 18. The crafty other melanated people, the Gentiles, as is put, they have taken crafty counsel against thy hidden ones. Psalms 83. Who bore the sins of Israel, including Judah? Ezekiel, 430 days, which will be equivalent to 430 years of captivity. Ezekiel took the sins for Israel. It was the children of Israel who were crucified for our transgression against the Creator. If you truly don't know this, look it up. It's in the Old Testament. If you want to keep following idolatry, by all freaking means, you want to call on Yah, which is a name in defiance and dismissal. So if you want to keep being in defiance against the Creator, by all means, that's your prerogative. But I am trying to tell you the damn truth. And if you don't like it, that's not my problem. I'm not the only one. So I will repeat this one more time. The Gentiles are not hybrids, okay? The Gentiles are colored, so-called Negroes, so-called black people, okay? King James was colored. Roman Emperor Charles V was colored. Benjamin Franklin told you this as the Black German King George II sat on the throne in England as of 1751. Okay? There shouldn't be any more questions about this. Esau and Jacob were brothers. They had the same mom, the same dad. So if Jacob was a so-called fucking Negro, that makes Esau a so-called fucking Negro. Use your damn brain. Trust Most High.